Have you ever wondered why King David, a man with a life full of contradictions, remains one of the most significant figures in history? King David, a central figure in the Bible, is known to have lived a life of stark contradictions. He was a shepherd boy who became a king, a warrior who was also a poet, and a man of great faith who committed significant sin. Despite these paradoxes, or perhaps because of them, David's life has had an indelible impact on Western culture and religious thought. Consider this. David is a pivotal figure in three of the world's major religions: Judaism, Christianity, and Islam. In Judaism, David is the sweet singer of Israel, the composer of the Psalms, and the man to whom God promised an eternal dynasty. Christians view David as an ancestor of Jesus Christ, while in Islam, David is revered as a prophet and king. David's influence extends beyond religious texts and into the realm of Western culture. His life story has inspired countless works of art, literature, and music. From Michelangelo's masterpiece, The Statue of David, to the countless renditions of his psalms set to music, David's story continues to captivate and inspire. Yet the life of King David was far from straightforward. He was a warrior who led his people to numerous victories, but also a poet who penned some of the most beautiful and heartfelt verses in the Bible. He was a man after God's own heart, yet he committed grave sins including adultery and murder. These contradictions make David a complex and fascinating figure. So the question remains, why does David, a man of such contradictions, hold such a significant place in history? Is it his achievements as a king and warrior, his contributions to literature and music, or his deep spirituality despite his sins? Or perhaps it's the combination of all these aspects that make David's life so intriguing. So who was this man, and how did his life unfold? Let's delve into the life of King David. The story of King David begins in a humble setting. This setting was the pastoral landscapes of Bethlehem, where David, the youngest of 8 sons, spent his early years tending to his father's sheep. In the solitude of the fields, David nurtured a heart for God and honed his skills with a sling, unknowingly preparing for a future beyond his wildest dreams. One day the prophet Samuel arrived in Bethlehem on a divine mission. He was there to anoint a new king, one chosen by God himself. Among the sons of Jesse, it was David, the shepherd boy, whom God singled out. Samuel anointed David, marking the start of a journey that would lead him to the throne. And who can forget the legendary duel with Goliath, the Philistine giant? With a single stone from his sling, David felled the towering opponent, securing a victory that echoed across nations. Despite his humble beginnings, David was destined for greatness. From a shepherd to a warrior, David's life took a dramatic turn. The boy who once tended to sheep was now a formidable force on the battlefield, a leader whose military prowess was as legendary as his faith. David's military successes are well documented, but they were far from a foregone conclusion. Each victory was hard-won, each battle a testament to his strategic genius and unyielding courage. He was a warrior not by choice but by circumstance, propelled into the fray by a sense of duty and a desire to protect his people. His rise to the throne was a journey marked by bravery and boldness. From his triumph over Goliath, the Philistine giant, to his strategic victories against the enemies of Israel, David's military exploits were instrumental in his ascension as king. His leadership was not just about wielding a sword, it was about inspiring his people, about instilling in them a sense of hope and resilience. He was a king, yes, but first and foremost he was a shepherd, guiding his people through the darkest of valleys. And then there was Jerusalem. David's establishment of Jerusalem as the capital was a defining moment in his reign. This was not just a political move, it was a spiritual one, an acknowledgement of Jerusalem's significance in the religious fabric of his people. In doing so, he turned the city into a symbol, a beacon of faith and unity for the Israelites. Yet while David's military successes and strategic decisions were truly remarkable, they were not without cost. With each battle, with each victory, came loss. Friends fell, families were torn apart, and the weight of it all rested heavily on David's shoulders. But David's reign was not without its dark moments. His life was a testament to the fact that even the greatest of kings are not immune to trials and tribulations. But that's a story for another time. For now, let's remember David as the warrior king, the shepherd-turned-hero, whose faith and courage continue to inspire us today. While King David gained fame for his victories, he also made some grave mistakes. No matter how revered or respected, no man is without flaw, and King David was no exception. Among his most significant transgressions was his affair with Bathsheba, the wife of Uriah the Hittite, a loyal soldier in his army. While Uriah was away at war, David saw Bathsheba bathing and was entranced by her beauty. He sent for her and the two had an affair, resulting in Bathsheba becoming pregnant. In an attempt to cover his tracks, David orchestrated a plot to ensure Uriah's death on the battlefield. Bathsheba became his wife and bore him a son, but the joy was short-lived. The prophet Nathan delivered a divine message to David revealing his sins and predicting the dire consequences that would befall his house. The child born of the illicit union fell ill and died, despite David's fervent prayers and fasting. But the repercussions of David's actions extended beyond his immediate family. His son Absalom, in a quest for power, led a rebellion against him, forcing David to flee Jerusalem. Absalom's rebellion was eventually quelled, but not before he was killed, causing David great sorrow. Yet, even as he grappled with the consequences of his transgressions, David exhibited a remarkable capacity for repentance. He acknowledged his sins, sought forgiveness, and turned back to God with a repentant heart. The Psalms, many of which are attributed to David, are filled with expressions of his deep faith and his longing for God's mercy. David's story is a poignant reminder of the human capacity for both greatness and fallibility. It underscores the gravity of our choices and the far-reaching impact they can have on our lives and those around us. But perhaps most importantly, it highlights the power of repentance and the enduring grace of divine forgiveness. Despite his sins, David was known for his genuine repentance and deep faith. David's life was rife with victories and failures, but his legacy endures. David, the shepherd boy turned king, left an indelible mark on history, shaping the course of Western culture and art. His story, laced with triumphs and tribulations, has been a wellspring of inspiration for countless artists, scholars, and theologians. One of David's most profound contributions lies in the Book of Psalms. As the traditional author of many of these poetic verses, David expressed a spectrum of human emotions, from the depths of despair to the heights of exultation. The Psalms are a testament to David's profound faith and his deep personal relationship with God. They resonate with many, for in the Psalms we see our own joys and sorrows reflected. David's portrayal in later religious texts further emphasizes his significance. In the New Testament, for instance, he is mentioned as an ancestor of Jesus, affirming his pivotal role in the lineage of the Messiah. In the Quran, David is revered as a prophet and a king, admired for his wisdom and his devotion to God. His influence, however, extends beyond sacred texts. David's life and character have found their way into Western culture and art. His battle with Goliath, his lament for Absalom, his repentance for his sins, all these moments have been immortalized by artists such as Michelangelo and Rembrandt in music, sculpture, and painting. His story has been retold in countless books, films, and plays, shaping our collective understanding of leadership, courage, and faith. David, with all his flaws and virtues, stands as a vivid reminder of the complexities of human nature. He made mistakes, yet he sought forgiveness. He faced trials, yet he held on to his faith, and it is this enduring power of faith and repentance that resonates with us even today. David's life serves as a reminder of the complexities of human nature and the enduring power of faith and repentance. Today we've explored the life of a king, a warrior, a poet, and a deeply flawed man. King David, the shepherd boy turned warrior king, was a figure of immense contrasts. His life was a tapestry of triumphs and failures, of profound faith and deep-seated sin. Yet it was these contradictions that made him more than a historical figure, but a symbol of our shared human condition. David's legacy as a ruler was marked by his courage, his strategic acuity, and his deep love for his people. But his personal life presented a stark contrast, a testament to his human frailties. His story serves as a powerful reminder that even the greatest among us are fallible, capable of both immense good and profound wrong. Yet despite his failings, David's story is one of redemption, a testament to the transformative power of faith and the possibility of forgiveness. The story of King David, filled with triumphs and failures, continues to captivate us, reminding us of the power of faith, the price of sin, and the potential for redemption.